Welcome, 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 welcome. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's PTP, People to People, Power to Power, Positive Thinking People. And it's Talk Live with Rodney Grimes and my co-host, Ms. Alice Williams.
Well, good afternoon.
How you doing today?
I'm wonderful, and you?
I'm blessed by the best. You know how we do.
That's right.
We always make it happen. I'm excited today. I brought in a very, very good friend of mine. And then we have another young lady that's going to be falling behind him.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, so.
Some personality stuff.
Yes.
It's right up my alley.
You already know. That's how we do. You remember what we said? It's all about us moving forward. The people to people, that's you, me, and them. The power, that's the power we possess when we do the right thing.
That's right.
Using that power in the right energy, putting it out. And the
right.
positive thinking people, that's when we pass that energy and that information out to make your life better.
That's right. So while we're passing out information, why don't you give our listeners today the information on making sure they know how to log in? I know we've been having some challenges.
How about that? So for everyone out there that already know, you want to call your friends and tell them to tune in, is Vox Wave Live. I've been telling you voxwave.com. That's when after the show is done.
Right.
But it's Vox Wave Live. You go to YouTube and you'll be able to come right in.
That's right.
And the telephone number is?
Yes, it's 240-719-2560. We're looking forward to hearing from you. So if you have any comments, any concerns, you're interested in a topic that you would like us to feature, please feel free to call in. Again, the number is 240-719-2560.
So I got a gentleman here. This is a very, very good friend of mine. This gentleman's name is Carl Lewis, and nickname is Devo. You know, I just threw that out there because many of you, he's from the metropolitan area, so a lot of people know him, and you're going to find that just right now I'm just excited just to have him in, and I'm going to tell you why. Basically, when you run into a gentleman who has a heart, I mean, like a serious heart of giving, and a person who's always helping, always just giving a good example. And then also when you meet his offspring and they're almost as good as he is, that's when you find a very, very amazing man. And so, you know, I definitely appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know,
I appreciate you as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
sir.
you know, I just want y'all to know that some of the things that he does, he's a heck of a cook. A heck of a cook, yes. I mean, so he does a lot cooking for serious events and stuff like that. And I don't really want to talk about that. I want you to tell. So some of the places that you cook for, how do you go about getting the business?
I cook. I started out maybe 21 years ago with me of a friend, close friends, and a few of us in the beginning that started putting together Father's Day events at Anacostia Park. And from that point, after the second or third year, they just grew. And I mean, when I say grew, I'm talking about 200 to 300 people and more. And the passion came at that point from the compliments of us few good guys putting together a little food for people to come, the less fortunate ones that grew up in the neighborhood we did, because back then, you know, back in the late 80s, early 90s, it was a lot going on in the Northeast area, and a lot of people just wasn't as fortunate as many of us, and we just took our money. We worked. I've been always working since I was 13 years old. Started with Marion Berry program and putting together events to have people come out without asking for any money, anything.
Wow.
Me and my few friends put together everything and have them come out, and it's grew from there, and from there I grew the passion on wanting to be a caterer, and and I just been cooking, and now I do it on all kinds of levels. I mean, I do weddings, funeral repasses, which is pretty much sad occasions, and I do a lot for the building I work for, the Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
I do a lot of their holiday events as well as the retiring events, and you know, I honestly stay busy, and I cook from my home. You know, I don't have a storefront, but I cook everything through my home. I have an EIN number, and I then brought
So
my
that was going to
brought my
ask.
name.
So you do have a business.
Yes,
do you have
ma'am.
a business name?
Yeah, Homies for Life.
Homies,
And that's
Homies for Life.
Yeah, spelled H-O-I-M-E-Z.
That's right. Tell the audience.
Number 4, Life. Homies for Life. Yes, ma'am.
And so how, if our audience wanted to get in contact with you, do you have a website? Or do you have a
Well,
phone
yeah,
number
we
with them?
the website was kind of like a little wasn't up to date like I needed to, so I have my son working on that as well.
Okay.
But what I do is give my telephone cell number out, and I have business cards.
Please
And
do
I'll
so.
pass those out. My cell number is 240-441-1712. And you can contact me anytime you might need my assistance, and I'll be glad to help you.
And that's what's really amazing about this guy. He's one of those gentlemen. He really means that. Many people may not know, and some do, but I also work at the Department of Agriculture as well, and that's how I met him.
Okay.
You know, when you just run into a person and automatically, we never had lunch, we never walked the halls together or anything, but whenever I see him, I just feel like he's my friend.
Sure.
You know, and that's what I've seen you do with many people. I've had, you know, and you know, if a person talk to you and they say that the dudes are drunk, right? And then walk around the corner and then another person say, the dudes are drunk. And then you walk 4 blocks and then another person say, the dudes are drunk. 9 out of 10 of you are drunk, right? Well, let me tell you something.
Right.
When everybody that told me about Carl, they say he's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet.
Right.
So after they told me that about 3 times, and just in passing, I knew that he's one of the nicest guys you want to meet.
Sure.
So, and not only that, he's a good father. I've met his sons. Part of the reason why I invited him to the show, and it was because I wanted people to know that we have some good fathers out here.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, some
Absolutely.
good black men.
Yeah.
We got a caller. Caller, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hello? Okay. So, you know, basically, again, you know, something else I hope you don't mind. This is what also I wanted to talk to Carl about. You had some health issues that you was dealing with, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you don't mind, just kind of, you know, we had this conversation, and I'm dealing with something too. And after talking to you, I was like, you really, really encouraged me. So you said you had to go deal with the doctor and what it was about?
Yeah. Well, really, I was fortunate not to be, with the weight that I carry, I was fortunate not to be diabetic or have blood pressure. But I have 2 grand boys that I love dearly. And just spending some time with my oldest grandbaby, maybe a little over a year ago, I felt myself, it was as a flag because I felt myself, with my 2 sons, I was always physically into their life.
Right,
and,
right.
Dealing with my grandson, which is my oldest son's son, I felt me trying to deal with him and trying to actually teach him something, but teaching him by me speaking it to him versus somebody at that age where you're supposed to be showing them.
Sure.
And you know, something just hit me where I felt like I was robbing my grandson, and my life is my kids. So
Yes,
that's what I live
That's
for.
right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so at that point, I made a decision to, you know, God and got me through and gave me enough days to get myself together to make a decision to do something with my life and make me much more healthy. It wasn't never about being small, skinny. It was about being healthier.
Yes.
And I want to be around here with my grandkids and be physically in their life. So that I went to my doctor and got involved with a surgery procedure called a sleeve, which you know, it was a mental and it's a life-changing thing that you know, something that I really wanted. And what my doctor needed me to do to get ready, you had to go through a lot of obstacles because they don't just give you the surgery because you want it.
Right,
They want to know that you really want that, and then it means something to you.
Right.
So I had to clear a lot of stuff like sleep apnea, go to nutrition courses, info sessions, and I had to lose a certain amount of weight on my own before I was cleared for the surgery.
Wow.
Yes.
And the weight that I had to lose on my own was, I believe it was 28 pounds.
Wow.
But from those 28 pounds, I lost it 56 pounds. And,
Amazing.
yeah, so, and then it was things that I've done, you know, because I really wanted it. Pre-surgery, they have you do a liquid diet, all liquid for 2 weeks before your surgery. And I just wanted to jump ahead of it, and I did a liquid diet 4 weeks before my surgery.
Amazing.
And right now I'm still on the liquid diet.
Okay.
And my highest, I was like 447, and I thought I was carrying my weight well until like I done came off with losing about almost 90 pounds, and good as I'm feeling now, I'm realizing I wasn't really carrying my weight as well as I thought I was. But moving forward, I'm much better, in a much better place, so much energy, and I know my grandbabies ain't gonna kill me.
Oh, that's right. So, you know, that's very impressive. Congratulations, definitely on the weight. How long has it been since the surgery?
July 5th was my surgery date, so I just went back to work a few days ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
so
you're definitely encouraging me. I haven't gone through any surgery, but I need to lose about 20 pounds myself, and I've been trying and going to the gym, and I haven't been obedient. So, and it's very hard to do.
It'll come. It'll come. I got people that seem like I motivated greatly, and what I share with them, because before I did my surgery, the liquid diet itself, with some walking, it done a lot, you know. So you can really do straight liquids for a good while, and walk and exercise to the way you need, and that itself would do it.
If I could, I want to say this. And now, when we talked about this, the message I want you to get from this is that when you put something in your mind, okay, the doctor can tell you one thing, but Carl didn't wait just on the doctor. He didn't just depend on the doctor. He took on the responsibility of himself. Like Allison, I'm throwing Allison with me. We struggling a little bit trying to do things because doctor told me I had to lose some weight too, and I'm still dipping and dabbing when ain't nobody looking. And so it's been a real serious issue. But when I talked to you that day, and you was telling me how you went in, and then you started to move forward prior to letting the doctor tell you to do it.
Yes,
man, that was then. I was like, you know what? That's what I'm talking about. But the other thing that I thought was just so unselfish was when you said that you was doing this not just for yourself, but for your grandchildren.
Right? They're very amazing. You said you didn't have any real medical issues. I do suffer from hypertension. It's hereditary. It runs through my family, and I was always the one thinking, I'm not going to be the one to have to take the pill every day, right? Guess what? At age 55, I have to take the pill every day. So I'm trying to get off the pill, and part of getting off the pill is losing the weight. And so I have been trying. I'm doing some things. I have made some adjustments in my life. I feel great, and I know I have claimed it already. I will get off the pill for sure. And I will lose the weight. But definitely, you are definitely encouragement to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, losing 90 pounds.
You
lost 90 pounds really, and went on a 4-week liquid diet.
Yes, ma'am.
On your own.
On my own.
On
I
your
supposed to
own.
done 2 weeks before the surgery, but I did 4 weeks.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
And that's another thing that when we're talking about leadership. So when we got gentlemen like this in our neighborhoods and in our workplaces and things like that, this is where the leaders are born. This is where you find natural leaders. I specifically, a lot of people would say, oh, well, what's so special about him cooking? Oh, it's not the cooking. It is, what it is his spirit.
Right.
You see? And then on top of that, when I tell you that I met his sons, I actually work with one of them. He's a well-grounded young man. I got to see the other son today. He got a son that's in the military.
Oh, wow.
He's been deployed. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, he made it home maybe 10 days ago.
Great.
He's been deployed in Iraq, and he's been in the military army for 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
And he was able to come home right a couple of days for his birthday, which was August the 26th.
Wow.
And his son's birthday is September the 3rd, which is coming around the corner. So it was great having him home, you know, with my oldest son and us together.
What a blessing. And you have such a humble spirit.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
I love life, and loving life, you got to love people.
That's
and,
right.
Yes.
You know, from that, you know, it's, you know, I live for my kids, so that's all the life I need, and that I can't do nothing but love everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
You know.
Hello, caller. How you doing? Welcome. Hello. Okay. We got somebody seems to be trying to call in, and we're having some kind of. Hopefully, it's something that's not in the lines or whatever. If you're trying to call in, keep trying, and hopefully it'll work itself out. So again, Carl, I'm just excited because I just think that you are the type of gentleman that is definitely in position to be a leader. You have been, and you will continue to be so. Again, working with your son, I've seen how respectful, and I saw your other son today, and I was like, I was really, really impressed with them.
Thank you.
We're going to try this again. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Mr. Grimes?
I'm very well. And may I ask, who am I speaking to?
This is Liz.
Hey, Liz, how you doing? That's
I'm
another
wonderful.
Another one of our family members from our work life.
Okay. Hi, Liz.
Yeah, I wanted to call in and say I hadn't seen you in a while, Carl. I'm very happy for you, and as the lady said, that you do have a humble spirit. I've been knowing you for 20 plus years, and you've been that same way with that wonderful spirit.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you.
And I just love that about you. And if anybody out there is listening or watching, please get him to cater for you. You will not be disappointed.
Hey, Liz, we can second that, right?
When he say he has some food, we running out.
And hey, Liz, now you know sometimes he do those special little treats for us where he'll just bring us a little something in, right?
Yeah, them salmon cakes be on point.
My favorite.
And also, I would like for y'all to know, Liz is another person. Eventually, we're gonna get you in here, Liz, because we want people to see you as well.
Person.
You're another person that really inspires us to move forward. You've always been there to help, and we appreciate your support.
Always.
Well, I thank you both, and you all keep up the good work. And I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thank you for
You're
calling.
welcome.
Yeah, I've been in the building for 31 years,
Wow.
and Liz been there most of those years with me and been like really, really great. You know, like I say, I've grown and matured greatly. Coming in there young as I was 21 years old and just didn't know how to put on that different hat. You know, I had to be taught. Coming from off of Northeast, the streets of Northeast area in Washington, D.C. And, you know, she was one of the ones who taught me how, when you come in this building, you know, you have to put on a different hat. That hat you wear on the street is the hat that belongs on the street.
That's right.
And I've grown since her and a few other people was in my corner.
Right. So to get a little bit personal,
Yes, ma'am.
Carl, you have a nickname, Debo.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Debo. Where you get that name from?
Wow. Well, my mother doesn't like it at all. She do not like it at all. But some of my closest friends, like I was speaking of, that we come together and do those events for the people in our neighborhood. They just fit to give me that name, and you know, I take it. I got many nicknames. You know, my family called me Poochie. You know, so my home and friends call me Debo. You know, Heavy, Big Man. So I wear them well, and I love them all. And but the nickname just come. You know, growing up in Northeast Washington D.C., it was a rough neighborhood to grow up in.
Let me see. Hello, caller. How you doing? Caller. How you doing? Okay. So, again, the nickname. Actually, when I heard it, I thought about the movie.
Yeah, that movie. That's what I thought about.
And then I was like, yo, well, you know
Debo had a reputation.
Yeah. I wanted to. After I found out that was his nickname, I thought maybe I better be his friend. You know. But on top of that, if something else, I want to just, you know, because I know that you are a good father. What would be a message that you would give it to the young men out there who have children? What would be something you'd like to tell them?
What works for me, I know everybody's different, but what works for me is I put God first, and everything after that is my kids. My two boys, and now I have grandchildren. I have four. I have two boys that's biological by my boys, and both of my boys' female companion had daughters, so I claim them as well.
That's right.
You know, so, but everything I do, I'm talking about from working. You know, when I get up in the morning, I step out my bed, it's about my kids.
Yeah.
And if you put everything around that, us men, because it's a lot of good men out here. It's just, you know, sometimes it's just not noticed. But, you know, you don't do it to get no notarized. You know, you do it because of what you do, your love for your kids. Right. And I mean, I eat, sleep, everything in my life is about my kids. You know, as long as you do right by them, you know, everything else around that'll work out for you.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So before you part, can you tell the audience again your information? We
Yes,
want to make
ma'am.
sure we get the information out about your catering. We want to make sure that everybody supports him, especially as an African American man with a business. We
Yes.
make sure he gets supported. So if you can just give the information again about your business.
Yes, ma'am. It's called Homies for Life, and that's Homies spelled HOMIEZ, the number 4, Life. My cell number is 240-441-1712.
Okay, great. Are your sons part of the business?
My youngest one were before he went to the Army.
Okay.
My oldest one, he's into the music. He helps me greatly, but he likes to do music a lot, so he's a lot busy. But when I need that labor help, they pull through for me and make it work for me, because a lot of times I
it's
do
a lot
need
of
the
work.
labor help. Yes,
I understand my parents used to do a little catering on the
Yes, ma'am.
side, and it's a lot of work, a lot of
it
time.
is, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it,
Good for
and
you.
that's my passion.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing that, again, that a lot of people know Carl for is his cooking, but also he's done amazing things in the community. He does a lot of things, putting on different events. Every time I don't even think I have made it to one of them yet, but I'm a busy person, no excuse. I don't like making excuses, and I need to do that because I cry about supporting people, but that's what he does. He supports people. He does this, like, I hear about it in the parks and these things, and I be like just amazed at what you do. And a lot of times I realize that this is coming out your own pocket. So that, and when I say that, many people know that, because I can hear through the summertime how many times they be like, oh yeah, Carl, get ready to do this. Oh yeah, you got something coming up soon, right?
Yeah, I actually have event coming up, Halloween. It's actually how I was put into the promoting part. Is something very new for me. I've been doing it for maybe the last 3 years, and I have a cousin, and his name is Black Love. And there's another gentleman by the name of Dwayne Nutt, who's a really personal friend of my cousin. And I love them guys so much, and from me catering and just being around them, and I just try to get in everywhere I can. And they introduced me to the promoting part of inside the city, and I've done a lot of events in the last 3 years, and I owe that to Teran, Black Love, and Dwayne Nutt, who's actually shown me and put me under their wings, and it's really teaching me the business. And I'm a music man. I love music, so that's something else to go with my catering. When I'm doing promoting events like that, and a lot of times we implement free food, where I put a little something on the table and let the guests come in, and that's patronizing us. They eat good, listen to some good music. We use live bands, some of the best DJs in the city, which is DJ Easy, Storm, and Pumpin' Archie. We use them on a regular. And,
okay, that's so cool.
So again, callers, if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to call in at 240-719-2560.
And remember, it's people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I always tell you, people, that's what we do. That's you, me, and them. That's what I'm talking about. What Carl does, he deals with people. And when we out here trying to do things in the community, that's what you got to understand. By example, people see you. Right. And you, here, I don't know, I'm 58 years old. Exactly. So I might be a little older than you.
Yeah,
I don't
49.
know. Okay, all right.
I'm getting there.
All right. So let me say this. That's where another thing that sometimes I say the age doesn't matter.
That's right.
Because I didn't know how old you were, but I've learned a lot from you.
Yes,
Your humble spirit.
Yes,
I've seen
thank
how
you.
you've always just been polite to people.
Thank
I
you.
don't think I ever seen you upset and as big as you are. I wouldn't want to, but not with a nickname Devo, Evo, but no disrespect.
Yes, sir.
But honestly, I just find you to be a perfect gentleman.
Thank you so much.
And if I was younger than you, when I grow up, I would like to be like
Hey, thank you so much. That means a lot. That is a
so-
world of a compliment.
Yeah,
And
so
I appreciate that.
and then also to his son, who's in the music business, I wanted you to know that we support you as well.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to get you in here, because being a couple of times I had the opportunity to hear some of his. He's not too bad.
Sir. Yeah,
He got a little flavor with him. Yeah.
You gotta get with the right crew, the right management. That's the thing about DC. we don't have those guys that take these young guys and put money. A lot of them have to leave from D.C. and go to Atlanta, New York, because that's the
true.
people that adopt them.
Right.
And our own here don't do it as much as they should, but you know, it'll happen.
Well, that's what this live talk is all about too. We're now a platform for that. You know, we have a reputation in this area for not supporting one another, but that we changing that. See, I believe in change. I believe in that, and I believe that when I put my foot in there, then I start to put one foot forward. And I believe, and I know you are that type of person as Miss Williams, and that's what I find so exciting. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to really let this gentleman go, but, you know, I hope that you'll find that time to come back. And it was definitely just a pleasure, because I want, for everything he does, I want him to know that it doesn't go unnoticed. A lot of people love you and respect you, and I appreciate everything you do for the community. And when I see your sons, I can only imagine how your grandson's going to come out.
Thank you. To your youngest son, thank you for your service. We really appreciate you serving this country. So you've done a great job. We really appreciate you, and it definitely has been a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's been all mine.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. We'll be right back. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All those that's just tuning in. You know, this is Live Talk with Rodney Grimes and my co-host, Miss Alice Williams.
Yes.
We just had a gentleman just left us, a beautiful guy,
Very
you know,
humble
Carl
spirit.
Lewis.
Yes,
Yeah,
I enjoyed the interview.
Yeah, I was really
it.
happy to have him to come out, and you know, and I can't wait to get him to come back and see us again.
Yeah, he put me to shame. I cannot believe.
Well, we gonna have to step.
Together
I know we're gonna have to step our game up.
Each other.
You know that for real. But you know that's what we got this young lady right here for.
That's
right here,
right.
we got this lady, Miss Karen Ward.
Yes.
And you are a
advanced certified personality trainer and speaker.
okay.
Yeah. You know
okay.
what, Miss Ward, I know we're going to get a little bit into our conversation with you. I'm looking forward to we had an opportunity to have a bit of a dialogue before the show, but I've never heard the term personality
Trainer. Advanced certified personality
Advanced
trainer.
persons. Okay, never heard of the term.
Yeah.
Right.
So explain to us
So what do I do?
Yes.
So I teach people how to interact with one another by understanding each other's personalities. So my goal is to help you reconcile and unify your relationships through the understanding of personalities.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool. So do you do this with married couples or just with anybody?
Or with anybody. But I have a heart for married couples. I have
Okay.
a program called Coupled for Life that help married couples stay married because
Okay.
it's difficult. As
Yes.
we all know, it's really difficult to stay married because it requires work.
Yes, yes,
And most people don't want to do work.
Right.
yes, yes.
And so, before we get too much into details about what it is that you do, we want to let you know that Ms. Ward is a business owner of Beyond Two.
Yes.
You're co-owner with your husband, is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. She's also been in the corporate world for a while, so she had 20-something more.
Almost 25 years.
25 years in the corporate world before she started her own business. So what we like to know is, tell us all about this business, how you got started. Yeah, tell us what you do. I've read some interesting things in your bio about some of the amazing events that you can host. So just give us a little bit of detail about that.
I will. So I worked for a major corporation for 25 years doing training. I did methods and procedures, so I wrote procedures, training manuals, things of that nature. So I always had a heart for training and teaching people. But I guess it was in 2008, I had a mentoring program, a teen and young adult mentoring program. And I was a part of an adult mentoring program. And as a part of the adult mentoring program, the person who was in charge of it did a Book of the Month club. And I read this book called Personality Plus. And I thought, wow, this is really interesting stuff, you know. At first, I was a little offended because the person was talking about my personality style, and I thought, well, hold up. What do you mean by that?
Right.
You're self-centered? You talk too much? What?
Right.
So I got a little offended. Then I realized that person had the same personality style as I did. So how could I get mad about that?
Right.
And so anyway, a couple of years later, I was really praying on what to teach the young girls, and that book came to my remembrance, and I said, oh, let me look at this book, and I developed a curriculum for a 10-month program for the youth, and I started teaching it. And as I was doing my research for it, I recognized that they certified. So I thought, oh, wow, I think I might be interested in this. So I looked them up, and I researched the company, and I went out and did the certification in 2010. And then in 2017, I became advanced certified.
Okay.
But I teach businesses, organizations, individuals. I do personality parties,
Oh my God.
which is the
Read
most fun.
that.
Yeah.
So you know,
that sounds
so,
interesting.
So Ms. Ward,
Uh-huh.
you and I had talked a little bit before the show, and I told you I also study personality
Yes.
types. So my 38 years of civil service experience, and someone recognized early on that I was a leader, and so I learned Myers-Briggs very, very early in my career, and I managed my life. So I managed my professional life and my personal life. I taught my kids as well about Myers-Briggs. So what you do is similar to that.
It's very similar.
Okay.
It's just a different assessment tool.
Okay.
The only other difference is that my assessment, we look at your basic desires and your emotional needs. And most other assessments don't look at emotional needs.
Right.
So that's something that we cover. The other thing is this. It's a very simplified version of Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs can be a bit complicated.
It can be.
Right, it's a lot of information to take in and really
Absolutely.
try to, right, so we have a simplified approach to looking at personalities. And I really get personal because
Sure.
I want people to understand how they were created. You were born with your personality.
Right.
And if
Right.
you were born with your personality, what do I do with it?
Right.
Because
Right.
you hear people say, oh, this is me and you just take me the way I am. No.
Right. You can change.
No,
you can
we
change
should
that.
all be looking to grow and
Yes.
change and evolve.
Yes.
And become a better version of ourselves.
But part of that is also getting to know who you are, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So
Absolutely.
you got to know you, and so to be able to change, you got to say, I know myself enough to know I want to change. So,
But there are people who think they really know themselves.
right, and they don't.
They really don't.
I was one of those people.
Right.
Trust me.
Me too.
Now, and I got to throw this in there. That's what I'm talking about. Even when I talk about people, power, positive people, I keep throwing that in there. I do a live talk every day, and I try to get people to understand that's what I'm trying to do is to get to know me. This is not about them so much. This is about me learning me.
Absolutely.
So when I hear you say that, I feel good that now I'm at a point where I can be the person who look in the mirror and then
Absolutely.
say, I want to be a better man. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better husband, a better person.
Absolutely.
And then start looking at the things that, you know, people see your flaws. Sometimes it's us that's
Quickly.
blind. We be blind. But we'll find ourselves to be blind,
Right.
you know, to them. And gentlemen, I say it's real talk. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you'll find that I'll sit in the middle, and especially like right now, I can feel the energy. I got two powerful black females on the side of me. You understand what I'm telling you? And I'm gonna tell you something. It's amazing when you sit and you can feel that, because y'all have carried us a long way. And I can't exclude my wife. My wife is sitting in front of me too, so
That's right.
I got that energy all the way around. But I just really, I'm just excited because you have also, just in this little bit of time, let me know that God put me in the right position.
Yes.
You know, where He, at first I was trying to figure out why I was doing these things, but I want to ask you, why do you do it?
Okay, so I think it's always important for you to understand your why, because if you understand your why, then you are more effective in the world.
Okay.
So for my why is to help people reconcile and unify relationships.
Okay.
It's important to me that people get along with one another. I have always been misunderstood all of my life. People,
Yes.
they said I just say what I want to say out of my mouth, and really it's because I'm a matter of fact kind of person.
Yes.
But I recognize that some people are put off by that. And so now it's up to me, or incumbent upon me, to adjust my behavior.
Right.
Not expect other people to adjust
Just
to
to
me.
me. How
And
about
that's what
that?
we do. We really look for other people to change.
Yeah, they won't.
And
It's not about
and you
the
can't
people.
change other people.
Yeah.
You can only change you.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do before, I want to call us, this is very interesting. I'm very excited about what you're offering. So I want to talk a little bit about how people can get to you.
Okay.
And
Yes.
then really talk about the assessment itself. If you can give people some ideas of what it is that you do,
Yes.
and help them understand their personalities. Again, the number is 240-719-2560. We have Miss Ward here, Miss Karen Ward. We're talking about personalities today. So if you could just tell us a little bit about the company, what you do in terms of the company, and then talk about the personalities itself.
Okay. So my company is Beyond Two, and the company is set up that I come out to your business, your organization, your house, because I do a lot of personality parties, and I do a personality assessment. So I facilitate that assessment. We look at your strengths, we look at your weaknesses, and then once we determine what your actual primary personality style is and your secondary personality style, then we start to talk about what that looks like for you.
Right.
And if, let's just say we have the exact same personality style. If we do, we won't look the same.
Right.
And we don't look the same because I may have some strengths that you don't have. I may have some weaknesses that you don't have. And so based on my experiences, based on my nature versus nurture, those type of things, those things shape the way I view the world and the way I present my personality to others, okay? So I teach people about that. I teach people about your strengths, how to overcome your weaknesses. I teach them about their basic desire, their emotional needs, because we all need something.
Right.
And to understand why you do the things you do will help you to govern yourself differently.
Right. Yeah, so let's talk about your personality.
Oh, okay.
So you mentioned some words that I'm not familiar with in our conversation earlier.
Okay.
And we were kind of comparing personalities, and we have some similarities and then some differences.
Right.
So let's talk about your personality as it relates to the assessment that you do.
So I have the two extroverted personality styles. I have, one is called popular sanguine. And we call them popular because most people know us.
Right.
Like we're loud and talkative and gregarious and fun-loving.
Right.
Our basic desire is to have fun.
Sure.
So that's what we love, and we love attention. That's one of our emotional needs, is to have attention and affection. So that's my primary. But with every personality strength, we have personality challenges or weaknesses. And some of them is that I talk too much. You know, I monopolize the conversation, right? And that I can be self-centered, or and then I'm more, sometimes you can be a little bit arrogant, you know, just a little bit out there too much. And so people get offended by that. That's one of my personality. I have both the extroverted personality styles. And extrovert just means you get your energy from people.
Right.
Okay. So the other extroverted is called a powerful choleric. Now you should relate to that. Because I think he's sanguine. Just by being around you. I think he's a sanguine.
Right.
Wait a minute. What is the sanguine?
The sanguine, the popular sanguine. People are popular. People like us. We're engaging.
Right.
We draw people to us.
Right.
People think we're having more fun
It's
than
not
anybody
bad.
else.
Oh.
It's good.
Oh.
I mean, we have our challenges too.
Right.
Yeah. But the powerful choleric is a mover, a shaker. It's a person that gets more things done in the morning than most of us get done all week.
That would be
We accomplish things. We're, always about accomplishing things, making things happen.
That's right.
The challenges in those personality styles is that we are bossy and curt and abrasive.
That too.
We say what's on our mind, and we don't really think about how it impacts other people.
Right.
Because it's the truth.
That's true.
Right. But the Bible says tell the truth in love, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And love.
And the truth will set you free,
It's
too.
always about love, right?
It's
It's always about love.
So those are the two extroverted personality, and I possess both of those. They also have two introverted personality styles, and those introverted personality styles are the perfect melancholy, and the perfect melancholy is a deep thinker, highly intelligent. It's a person who's very compassionate. They care about the world in general, what's happening in the world. They're not the person that cares just about their neighbor, but what's happening, when it's a tsunami or something that's happening somewhere else in the world. They care about it. They're very compassionate. But some of their challenges are they're moody, and they are easily offended. They're suspicious of others. They're just like, I'm not letting everybody in my circle. They come off as standoffish. So those are some of the
I might
challenges.
have some of that.
But, I mean, you were just kind of describing a little bit of me, and I was like, okay. And I can't pronounce that other word that you said I was, but
what? Sanguine?
yes.
Yeah, sanguine.
But that sound good.
Sound important, don't it?
Yes.
So I think you have one extrovert and one introvert
Yeah, I
personality
know
style.
I do.
And you can.
And so part of the Myers-Briggs test and the way I managed through Myers-Briggs, that's perfect assessment. As a leader, I had to always operate in an extrovert environment because I was around executives with myself. But at the end of the day, when it's all over, I wanted to just be alone. I'm not going to go straight to the party or straight to the bar. I need about 30 minutes to kind of have some downtime to recharge. I call recharge.
That's right.
And recharge, and then I come back out, and I'm extroverted all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
And you had to recharge because as an introvert, you get your energy from within.
That's right.
And that's why you have to recharge.
That's true.
Now, the second introverted personality style is called a peaceful phlegmatic. They're cool, calm, collected. They're chill personality. Everybody loves a phlegmatic. Matter of fact, my daughter who introduced us, she's a phlegmatic first.
She's
everybody loves her. And when I come into her workplace, they'll say, oh, we love Brianna. She's so sweet. She's so nice. So that's her. But on the challenge areas of a phlegmatic is that they come off as lazy. They come off as uninvolved, unmotivated. So every personality has strengths, and every personality has challenges.
So tell me, how does that help with marriages?
Yeah, because that was one of my concerns, being that you are having this information and stuff. How does that work in a marriage if you know it and if you don't know it?
Well, if you don't know it, it's challenging.
Right.
And it's challenging because when you don't know how you're created, then you make assumptions that everybody's like you.
That's
or
right.
should be like you.
That's right.
Okay.
And that's
So
the problem.
you look to change your spouse
Right.
at every turn. Why don't he move like I want him to? Why does he not do what I want him to do? How come he's always spending all the money? How come he's this, that, and the other? And it's because most of the time we make our choices through the lens of our personalities.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if you understand a personality, then it allows you to adjust and give grace or extend grace to another individual.
Right.
And so that's what I like about teaching the personalities to couples, because you get to see each other differently and not assume a person is doing something just to get on your nerves.
Right.
Is it expensive to have you to come out? Because I'm already. No, seriously, I am like so excited because just listening to you again, I can't wait to have you to come to my home. I want to get some couples together. We tried to network with some very, very positive people, and I want people to know that this is something that all of us can enjoy. It's not about pointing the finger at each other or blaming the person. It's about what you said, getting to know who you are and understanding your strengths and your weaknesses. And all of that plays a factor in the success of your life. And this is what I talk about every day when I get on Real Talk, and I do it on Facebook. you said recharge, right?
Yes.
That's what I used yesterday.
Oh,
It was
did
talking.
you?
That's what I talked about yesterday.
Okay.
Recharging,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And so, again, I just first give honor to God on this because I'm sitting here. Sometimes you'll find me that I'm going back and forth, back and forth. I'm like a sponge. I'm up here like, zoop, I'm absorbing it. And I can only imagine just how deep you can get in these sessions.
Absolutely.
So, most definitely, I want to make sure that everyone out there know we do this. This is to help you, right? People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. This is what Miss Kern is. Okay, she can wear my symbol. I can get her a chain and it can have people to people, power to power, positive thinking people in there because she possessed that.
Right.
And when we put ourselves in the position to be around people like that, you'll find yourself growing as well. Even as Miss Williams, we grew up together, and she's always been a very outward person. When I say outward, to be a lady, to do things, and not to say, hey, look at me, but just do it where you'll be like, man, she cool,
Thank you.
So I compliment both of y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we want to remind our callers again. Look, I'm very excited about this subject, as you can tell. I'm very engrossed in it because it's definitely an interest of mine, and especially because I live it every day.
Oh, yeah.
I live it every single day. This is me. But we want to ask the callers, please call in if you have any comments or any concerns or question of Ms. Ward, 240-719-2560. We've been hearing the phone ring, and so I don't know if there's something wrong with the phone, but we try to answer it, and no one comes on. So if you're trying to call in, we're going to ask you to keep on trying until you get through. But you don't want to miss this opportunity to really ask questions because it's really about you. So I want the stigma about these type of assessments. I know when I was in the government, when they made the leaders go to these courses, right? They would say, "Oh, it's just so touchy-feely."
Right.
I don't want to do that,
Right, right.
And so, how do you encourage people to participate in what you're doing without that feeling like it's so
Too
touchy-feely?
touchy-feely.
Right.
Well, it's really interesting because I usually don't have to force people.
Okay.
I mean, because what I say to them is when you do the assessment, it's not about what I think about you, it's about what you think about you.
Right.
Okay.
So when you answer it's not even questions, they're words.
Okay.
So they give you 4 sets of words, and it says which one sounds most like you, or sounds like you most of the time, or what's the best answer that you have most of the time.
Yes,
Caller, how you doing?
Good day, family. This is Rachel Pope.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi, Alice.
How are you?
Hello, darling.
Rodney. Y'all know I had to call in on this one. I will make it quick, but I had to take a deep breath, and my king was going out to go spend money. I said, "Oh, honey, you need to listen to this." He said, "Yeah, I kind of got a messed up personality. Yeah, I got to make adjustment, like she said, but I'm full of all those personalities." But anyway, I want to ask, is it Karen,
yes.
Carol? Concerned about how do you use your assessment relating to stress?
Oh,
That's a good one.
very
Yes.
good. So when you do the assessment is just going to tell you your personality style, and your personality style may speak to whether or not you handle stress well or you don't handle stress well. Typically, a sanguine handles stress well because we look at the glass is half full.
Right.
So that's the popular
That's
sanguine.
right, yes.
So we see the glass is half full, so we know everything's going to be okay. In other words, we look through rose-colored glasses.
Right.
The choleric knows that everything's going to work out okay as well, as long as they're in charge. Right?
Okay.
Okay, the introverted personality styles, the melancholy tends to deal with stress. They don't deal with stress as well. And the reason why is because they have high expectations of themselves and high expectations of others. Okay, so when things don't work out the way they want them to, they get depressed and down. The phlegmatic, it rolls off their back. Now, they do have a lot of worries. They worry about a lot of things. They think they don't measure up. They think people don't really care for them. I mean, they have a lot of worries. However, things typically roll off their back. They're the personality will be like, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Everything will come up roses. So that's kind of how each personality would deal with stress a little bit.
So
Okay.
and Rachel, don't hang up because I wanted to finish because I'm going to piggyback off of what you're saying. So
Yeah.
with the stress, when you have people who's dealing with the stress, that leads to depression, right? So what is it like for somebody right now, and they have this opportunity to see you? Is it something that you tell them that they can do right away to start to move in a direction to help deal with that?
Yes, and this is from a personal perspective. This is something I've been learning over the last, I guess, 8 or 9 months. It's something that has hit me. I saw a movie called After Earth with Will Smith in it.
Yes.
And that movie impacted me greatly because he said fear does not exist. Danger is real, but fear does not exist. Fear is only the contemplation of what could happen.
That's right.
Or what has already happened.
That's right. That's
The
right.
past does not exist. The future does not exist. So if you focus on the here and the right now, it will take you out of a space of being stressed and feeling upset and anxious about stuff. Because typically what we're anxious and upset about is what has already happened to us or what we think is going to happen to us.
That's very powerful. Wow.
And you know
Amazing.
what? That's
Yes.
something. I have a supervisor. I sometimes I get excited because I be like, I know I'm on the right train, on the right track. My supervisor say, Rodney, yo, don't worry about what happened yesterday.
Right.
You can deal with right now,
Right
what you can
now.
deal with. And if you can't fix it right now, then don't worry about that either. Just keep it moving forward. Yeah, hey, Rachel, you're another one. You're another one. You know that I know that definitely when we have this young lady over, you're gonna get a kick out of being in her presence because you're an energy person as well. And I'm sitting up here like I'm plugged into a plug right now because.
Look, Rodney, I want to say this, and I'm not going to stay here long, but to the sister, I just want to say thank you. I want to offer you an opportunity. I don't know if you're going to participate in the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to be there?
I would love to.
Would you like the partnership with me?
I would love to. That'd
With
be
Howard
awesome.
University Hospital Community Outreach?
I would love to do that.
That's
Definitely,
awesome.
I will. Well, let me give you my information. You can
Okay.
reach me on my website, which is Beyond BEYOND 2 TWOLLC.com, and you can
Okay.
contact me through there, and that goes right to my email address. So you send me a message, I'll reach out to you, and we can talk about it. But I
Yes.
also wanted to tell you too, Rachel, this about when we were just talking about fear and that kind of thing and stress. One of the things I also heard on one of the, Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, she had
Oh, yes.
Dr. Brene Brown on there, and I love her.
Uh-huh.
And she was talking about there are stories that we tell ourselves.
Right.
And the stories that we tell ourselves keep us in bondage, basically. I'm putting it in my own words. But
Right.
if you start to tell yourself that you're not worthy, or you're not smart, or you're
Yes.
not whatever it is that you tell yourself, and
Yes.
it's usually something you've told yourself
Self
all your
all
life,
life.
or
Right.
somebody else
Right.
has told you,
that.
and you believe about yourself.
Right.
If you stay in that vein, you will always find yourself in turmoil or in a traumatic situation. And I think the other thing I heard on one of the other shows was that when you find yourself going back into the past
Yes.
or going to the future, you have to train your brain to come back to the present moment. And one of the things that one of the things that God mentioned that He does is, let's say for instance you're in the shower and you're taking a shower, and you know how when we're in the shower we have our whole meeting in the shower with us,
Right,
like
right,
we're
right.
rehearsing what we're going to
Right,
say.
yes.
Right.
I do it all the time
Me
because I'm a
too.
speaker, so I'm
Me
rehearsing
too.
my speech, and in the shower. He says, you say, wait a minute, am I in the shower? And the moment you say, am I in the shower, it brings you back to the present moment.
That's
so
right.
you have to train your brain to come back to the present moment so that you're not focusing on the future or the past.
Wow.
That's something.
It is.
I like
Again.
to take credit for it, but
Yeah. No.
In the moment.
It sounds good.
Well,
I can't wait.
my darling Rachel,
Yes.
again, like always, we appreciate you. You are definitely a true supporter. And when we're going to have Ms. Kern over to the house, which is going to happen, I'm going to
Okay.
make sure that you are aware because she's going to get a kick out of meeting you too.
Well, we're going to meet anyway at one,
Yeah.
right, Rachel?
That's right. We're going to meet soon.
Rachel, thank you for calling.
Love y'all.
Love you too.
Okay. And remember, hey, it's about people to people, power to power, positive people. I'm just sitting here again. I have to give God glory when things like that. I'm listening to what you're saying, and you're just confirmation to a lot of things that I've been dealing with and where I'm going. I'm going to tell you before, we've still got some time, but I'm going to let you know that you got to come back. Because I already know that what I'm hoping, and this is with this whole thing, when I tell you it's not about us, when I say it's not about us, I'm talking about us sitting right here.
That's right.
This is about all of us, you, me, them.
That's
right?
That's
and
right.
when we have a young lady like this to come in, this is where we have to take this opportunity and listen, learn. Because what we want to do is be a better person.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And who can teach you better than yourself?
That's right.
You just have to learn. You was talking about your mind. You know, your mind can be your biggest enemy, right? So what we have to do is find people like yourself who help us to coach, or help to coach us in a direction where we'll be able to accept our faults.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Identify our weaknesses, and then be able to accept the areas where you really, really need to nurture yourself, right?
And I think one of the things that I think that my business does well is helping people to understand their personalities in a non-judgmental way.
That's
Right.
So do you feel comfortable hearing what your strengths are and understanding that your weaknesses are just an opportunity for change?
No, that's a very good assessment. I know when I first started taking the assessment test that I kind of manage every day, I was in denial. And so I was trying to do things and re-looking at the questions, trying to figure out, okay, how can I answer different? Because I don't want to be that.
Right.
You know, and I didn't,
Exactly.
I didn't like the personality that they gave me. Right. There were some things that was like, oh, yeah, that's me. And I was like, oh, no, that's not me. But really it was me. And it took me a while to make the adjustment to realize, you know what, I can't motivate people. I can't get people to do what I need them to do if I don't accept this is really who I am.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And so, I very good assessment, and I love what you're saying, and I'm really enjoying this session. But I have one other question.
Okay.
So, you are a co-owner of the business.
Yes.
Can you talk about your husband?
Okay, so my husband and I will be married 25 years next year. So this year, we're coming up on our 24th year. We're co-owners of the business. I am really the face of the business.
Okay.
He's the behind the scenes, running things behind the scenes kind of person.
All right.
But
so
he's
he understands
highly supportive
this as well.
Yeah, he
Okay.
does understand it.
Right.
And when I do Couple for Life, he'll speak sometimes, not on a long, that's not his thing.
Right.
But I'm trying to help him.
Sure.
Because he's a talker.
Right.
And I just want him to be comfortable in it. And so I'm helping him to become more comfortable in it. But as we do, we allow him to, speak his mind and talk his point of view in a Couple for Life. I'm actually going to be speaking in Costa Rica in October.
Wow. Congratulations
Yeah,
on that.
thank you.
Yes.
A couple years ago, the Lord told me I would be international.
Yes.
And so I was thanking God for that. But a couple years ago, this lady asked me, she came to my Couple for Life training, and she asked me to come to the Poconos and teach her people, her marriage ministry.
Sure.
So I said, sure. And then she said, let's take it on the road. And the first on the road was on a cruise. So I had my first international speaking last year on a cruise. So I was all excited. So before that one was finished, they asked me to speak this year in Costa Rica.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, and it's a relationship boot camp.
Sure.
Okay.
And so I said, absolutely. So that's going to be in October. They've already asked me to speak next year. And next year is during our 25th anniversary.
Well, I can
so we're going to make it a trip.
Yeah,
That's going to be
That's
going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking while I'm listening to you. I've been married going on 3 years, but in a relationship 11 years. One of the things that we do is we have open conversation, and what we call it confession. So confession is. Now this is, I'm telling you this because I want your opinion on this.
Okay.
Even though it's been working, but it's been working. But what it
We need
is.
to get your wife over here to ask that question if it's really working.
Well,
Go ahead.
remember, I'm going on 11 years, so something working in
something
there.
working.
Yeah, but what we did was we made a commitment in the very beginning that whenever we said confession, we could say anything.
And
we,
it's a safe place.
And it's a safe place. So what we do is say, like, if it's and say if it's something that I saw that I really wanted, but I know I'm not supposed to have it. And so I come home and say, yo, I saw these shoes. I really, really love these shoes, and I want them. And instead of her yelling at me, you know we don't have the money or whatever, but she'll say, well, Rodney, you know, we can't do that right now, but we talk about it. And that's on anything. I mean, even when we might make each other upset, instead of us yelling and fussing, what we do is before it goes to that level, we always say confession. So the rule is when you say confession, you can't get mad. See, that's the rule.
I love
So
that. I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
That's
So
wonderful.
yeah, so we
I'm
do.
gonna steal it, okay?
Yeah. Because believe it or not, and it works because many times we could be laying in the bed and I'm what you said I am.
I'm probably a sanguine.
Okay, a sanguine. I'm a sanguine, y'all. but also, you know, I'm the man, and in my relationship, I stay in the man place and I handle myself accordingly. And sometimes I can be a little bit dominant, and then
Choleric. Okay, go ahead.
so that's when she'll come in with the confession, and she might say, well, you know, the way you came at me wasn't the right way. And instead of me going back saying, look, you just do what I tell you or whatever, when she say confession, I have to say, okay, then explain to me, and then she'll tell me, and then now, whether I agree or don't agree, I can't get mad.
Right.
I love it.
You know.
I do too.
And I can tell
That
you
is
something.
awesome.
I was doing some work on because I do Couple for Life, there's always single people who want to know what I do. So I do a single version of Couple for Life. It's like if you believe you're going to get married with this person or you're engaged, then I do a Couple for Life for engaged couples and single people. And so I was preparing for that, and I went to my church when they had the singles ministry. I wanted to hear their concerns and things they were thinking about. And a friend of mine was on the panel, and he said something that struck me to the core, and I recognize it. And I'm telling you this because it reminds me of what you're saying now. He said, "Do you know what the #1 reason for divorce is? Do you know?"
Money.
Money? You think it's money too?
Money, maybe.
Yeah. Some people say money. Some people say communication. Some people say
Well. If I would say that. I would say communication. Communication is the #1 problem for divorce because half the people don't talk about it. They start to pass judgment right off. So I would definitely, because money, either or, if you're in love, the money don't matter.
And then they say sex is another one. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons that people say are the reasons for divorce. But the #1, he said, and I believe with every fiber of my being, that the #1 reason for divorce is selfishness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
And so, the reason why I said that, it ties to what you were talking about, because the way you guys are communicating, you have learned not to be selfish in how you communicate.
Yes.
And that's why your communication tool is working for you.
That's amazing.
Because you have learned that.
Thank you.
So many people, because if you understand that selfishness is the root of divorce, then you know how to fix everything in your relationship.
Right.
If a person is spending money and they shouldn't be spending money, or they're gambling with the money, they're being selfish with the money.
Right.
If the person is not communicating effectively or holding things back, they're being selfish in how they communicate.
That's right.
If a person is not giving you sex, they're being selfish in how they relate to you physically.
Oh
So
my
whatever
God.
it is, once you get to the core of that thing, you can now fix it when you take the selfishness out and become selfless.
Right.
I wait a
love
minute.
it.
Don't. We're not going to break. We
Yeah.
talking.
So wait, 240-719-2560. If you have a concern or comment or question of Ms. Ward, this is very interesting. You don't want to miss this.
Right.
This is time to ask the question now. Feel free to call in 240-719-2560.
And you know what I had to do? Listening to what she's saying, I'm trying to tell you PTP. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I don't care. I'm trying to tell you, God sent right here, okay? Because this is what this is all about.
Right.
Take this opportunity. She just gave you the telephone number. Take this opportunity. If you see this and you don't want to call in, definitely pay attention.
Right.
Get in touch with this lady.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you something. This is where we're moving forward. It's about making life a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to do that is you're going to have to get where sometimes you need coaches.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
right.
right?
Yes.
Just sometimes you just need that person to come in. We have some friends, sometimes, you know, they might be in their place and we're in our place, but when we come together, because we're in a good place, they have to come into a good place.
Right,
you know,
right.
and so that's why you'll want a coach. You'll want a person to come in. And I'm serious.
So do you consider yourself as a coach?
I do have a coaching aspect of my business. And I have, sometimes there will be couples that I'll coach to help each other see each other differently through the lens of your personality.
Sure.
Hello, caller. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
All right.
Hi. This is Faustine King. I was just calling to speak on the... Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. No, go ahead. No, don't just talk. Don't listen. Don't try to hear yourself, or turn
Turn your volume down.
Turn the volume down.
Yes.
Okay.
On your YouTube.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Actually, hi, Rodney.
Hello, love. How
this
you
is
doing? I'm
Faustine
so glad
King.
you called, sweetheart.
Thank you. I was just called. This is an excellent show here, and the personality plus that party. That would be awesome. And Rodney, if you have it, I will be there.
All right.
Hey, you already know. Hey, I'm definitely. It's 100%. I was just sitting here, and I was just, you know, with all of us, it's a process of us having this opportunity to have a person who has this experience to be able to come out and talk to us. But hey, you know, most definitely. But ask her any question, anything that you want to ask right now.
Oh my God. The personality. I think my personality probably is the first one you said. I think about yourself. What was that?
Sanguine. The popular sanguine.
Describe what it is.
Oh, it's a bubbly, high energy, a talkative person, engaging. Most people think you're having so much fun because your basic desire is to have fun.
And
Well,
so,
maybe it was the second one.
Okay. That's the powerful
Right.
choleric.
Yeah.
That's the mover and the shaker. That's the born leader. That's the person that is about business. Is a no cut cards kind of person.
Yeah, I believe that's me. And I believe I probably need to tone down. And I'm a person that also, I guess, just tell the truth, like shoot it straight forward,
Oh
straight
yeah,
from the hip.
that's you. That's a choleric. Shoot from the hip.
hey,
Yeah.
you know what, Faustine, though? The good thing is when we start to identify, and that's one of the things that with Miss Kern, I'm really excited about, is that when we start to identify who we are, then that's when we make the changes to better ourselves.
Absolutely.
You know?
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely.
And Miss Karen, I'm really enjoying this session,
Oh, great.
and I will be at Rodney's
Okay.
when you show up.
Well, I can tell you that too. The choleric personality is a person that most business people, they're usually in business. Usually they own their own business, or they're leaders in their ministry, or leaders in business, leaders in their households, something like that. However, the one thing about a choleric is always right. Okay? Always right. And even when they're wrong, they're right. And they will convince you that they're right.
I know some people
But
like that.
as soon as they recognize that they're wrong about something, they're the quickest to change.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
now that's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know my faults, and I will reevaluate myself
Yes.
to bring forth change.
Right,
All right,
right. And this is, I mean, I am so excited. I am so excited about her being in today. Because one thing, Faustine, and I want to say this with everybody that's listening, we all have room for improvement.
That's right.
This is not about one person thinking they're better than the other.
That's right.
You said that once we start to identify these things is when we make the change.
That's right.
And sometimes some of us need coaches.
That's right.
So
Most definitely.
we thank you for calling
Thank
in.
you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. You guys have a great night.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you so much.
You know, Miss Karen, you are amazing.
Thank
I'm
you.
sitting here, and I already know. it's just a few things that you said already has put me in a position where I identify some things in my marriage that I need to work on. One of the things that I do as a man, and I say this to other men, right? Put yourself in a position to be a leader, but also learn how to follow.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's
right.
Absolutely.
See, you can't be a leader if you can't follow.
Right.
And so a lot of times, that's what happens. See, a lot of times, a lot of people think that I be putting on, but see, I don't have a problem apologizing to my wife, especially when I know I'm wrong. Now, sometimes she may not want to accept it right away, but some flowers and some cream wheat or something, you feel me? A new pair of shoes, you know, always.
Shoes is usually
Right. But the real deal is just coming to grips and being able to communicate and accept who you are. That's what I just find so intriguing about you. I am really so excited, and we're going to make sure that we do that. But I want you to give your information out real quick again.
All right, so you can reach me at Beyond, BEYOND, 2 TWOLLC.com. And my email is beyond2llc@gmail.com. So either way, you can get me there. I also wanted to say, too, one of the reasons why I do what I do is because I believe that people need to have reconciled and unified relationships. And the Bible says, if possible, as far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men.
That's right.
And so the Bible is telling you, first of all, it's a caveat, if possible. So you know there's some people you're never going to get along with because they don't want to get along with you.
And that's fine.
Okay.
Right.
And that's because God gave us the caveat. He says, if possible. But then he says, as far as it depends on you.
Right.
That means you need to be changing your attitude and your behavior, not expecting other people to change theirs in order for you to get along with other people. So I think that's why I do what I do, is because I want people to understand, stop trying to change someone else, change yourself.
Right.
Yes.
So let me ask, on your website, or is there anywhere that people can identify or find the definitions of these terms that you're using?
Yeah, the terms are on my website, but also if they're interested in getting a personality assessment, they can go to my website and they can purchase one there and I'll send it to them.
Okay.
And with that comes a 15-minute consultation to go over your results.
And now, what about the people who are in financial struggles? Because, look, it's people out here need help, okay? And I can tell that you are the type of person like helping people.
Yep.
So, you know, but I also want to tell people, too, when people come out and they give you these services, not all the time do you want to be having your hands out and wanting for free. She got to eat, too.
That's right.
So, you know.
Yeah, it's my full-time business.
So, but and reason why I want people, I don't want anybody to think, well, oh, I can't afford her or anything, but do you work where you kind of like work on their budget or something?
I'll work with you. What I typically do is I speak for businesses a lot and school systems like Bowie State and places like that, and they pay my full fee. There are ministries and there are large ministries that pay my full fee, but there are smaller ministries that can't afford to, and I work with them in order to work with them. And then for personality parties, I negotiate something that's fair.
Okay, that's what
I feel is fair.
Right. Okay, and that's what I wanted to put out there, because being that this is something that's accessible to you, don't feel like that you can't call her and say, look, I would love for you to come over and have a personality party. These are the things that we need to have to be able to grow. I believe that God put us down here to be happy. I don't believe that we're supposed to be down here and be unhappy. And when we start to learn these things, it makes the sunshine so much brighter. Even when it rains sometimes, you can still sit back and you can enjoy life, right?
So personality party, this is a new trend, personality parties, right? So tell us what the personality parties are like.
So the personality parties are lighter. I come with all my own equipment. So I do usually a slide presentation as a part of it. I have usually giveaways because I am an extreme couponer. Hello.
Oh, really?
Right?
Oh,
that's yeah. So I love doing that. I coupon all the time.
Right. You get a lot
Actually,
of stuff free.
I was doing it this morning.
Free stuff.
Before I came here, I get a lot of stuff that's for free. I get some stuff that, like this morning, was not a free morning. But anyway, but I get a lot of discounted products and stuff like that. So I'm usually doing some little gift bags and some stuff to give away as prizes because it's very engaging and interactive. You get to ask me questions. You get to, if it's a coupled one, then the couples get to talk about each other's personality in a safe environment where nobody's feeling wounded by it. I remember one time I had a person that was in the training, and he was talking about his fiance, and I said, hold up, she's not here, we don't do that.
That's
I'm not going to talk
Yes.
about, I'll talk about the personality traits, but I'm not going to talk about the individual.
Right,
Because that individual's not here.
That's
Right.
So I want to make sure people feel comfortable and safe to be able to speak their minds, because that's really what it's about. You know, it's creating a safe environment for you to examine yourself, because it's hard to look at yourself.
It is.
Right.
You know, it's hard to look at
Absolutely.
yourself
Yes.
and look at your
Yeah,
flaws
that's
and
right.
recognize that you got to change things that you have to change. But there's not a person on the planet
Right.
that does not have something they need to change.
That's right.
That's-
So
that's-
your parties, are they popular? How many have you hosted?
Yeah, I
so
do
far?
a lot. I
Oh,
do a
really?
lot of
Okay.
personality parties. Normally it's around the holidays.
Okay.
Okay.
So people like to invite me like theme parties for their birthdays. I've
Oh,
had
sure.
birthday ones. I've had ones for like Christmas. The Christmas ones are a lot of fun because
I'm
that's
sure.
usually
Giveaways,
we have give a lot of
yeah.
giveaways and fun stuff. So I do Christmas ones. I do a lot of different ones. It just depends on the person.
Okay.
Individuals will hire me, and I normally do an individual rate. So let's say you hire me and you have at least 10 of your friends to come, then I'll give you a rate for each, and those people can actually pay me directly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so good. I'm again.
Yeah.
Everybody out there know that this is what this is about. This platform, we bringing individuals in like this. I need you to know this is part 1 of part 5. Okay. you heard what I said, because this is.
So I'm a co-host.
Hey, yeah, we get ready to start. You know something? It's just amazing. All of us, we are in a growing state.
Yes,
I keep using myself as an example. A while back, I was going through a rough time, and Alice, who's my very dear friend, helped me. And it was almost like the coaching which she does, right?
Absolutely.
So, and now I have my other good friend, Miss Kern, right?
Oh Lord.
So I'm just excited. I'm really, really blessed, and I
Yes.
just thank God. I give God glory because what you doing is amazing.
Thank you.
And I just appreciate you for
And
doing
needed.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
so
a
honored.
need.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I am so honored that God chose me for such a time as this,
Right.
because I didn't know. I remember years ago when I was in that mentoring program,
Sure.
and I remember saying, Lord, I know that you did not bring me on this earth just to work for a corporation
Right.
and go
That's
to work,
right.
work long hours, and come home. I know
Right.
it's more to life than
Right.
this.
Yes.
Right.
So what is it that you wanted me to do? So he started me with mentoring, and because I've always loved understanding why people do the things they do and why they think the way they think, that was always something I was always intrigued with. Like I watched all the shows like Snapped and
Sure.
you know,
Right.
because I
Yes.
want to get inside
Right,
a person's
right,
head,
right. Yeah.
and understand why people
Oh
do
my
what
God,
they do.
Nana, that's revelation for me. Confirmation. Because I watch that stuff too.
I do.
Yeah, I have boyfriends who say, "What, you trying to kill me?" Or
My
something?
husband said, listen, you need to stop watching stuff like that. I said, listen. He said, why do you watch stuff? I said, so I can get away with it cleanly.
Right.
When is your birthday?
June the 29th.
Cancer.
Yeah, yeah,
almost a Gemini.
yeah.
I'm a Gemini.
Next door.
Yeah.
Next door.
Do that play a factor? Do you believe in the zodiac signs?
No.
You know?
No,
I
think,
do,
I
but-
think, but see, this is what I think, and this is one
Not
of the
when it
reasons
comes
why I
to
don't.
personality types.
Well,
right?
yeah,
And-
it doesn't relate to
right.
that. But the other reason why I don't connect with the zodiac signs, it's because I have friends who were born in the same month as I'm born in, and they're all cancers because they're down 25th, 23rd, whatever. We're right there together, and we're like day and night.
Right.
I can see the personality differences,
Right.
and I can see, oh, okay, that has really nothing to do with the zodiac sign because I'm extroverted, that person's introverted,
Right.
or they have one of each, you know,
Right,
that type of thing.
right.
So that's why I don't correlate with the zodiac sign.
Well, let me say this. Now, sometimes people feel like they know a little bit of something, but that's another show. But one day I'm going to have you on here because that's going to be good dialogue with both of these ladies on here
Yeah,
because,
well,
you know.
I'm born in September, and I'm a Virgo since we're giving out zodiac signs. And I have a birthday coming up.
That's right. Hey, actually, we're going to have to make sure that we prepare to celebrate that.
That's right, we will. I'll give you all the details.
Hey, again, Miss Kern, I'm just here. I'm speechless because
Yes.
I sat here and while you were talking, I'm sitting here just evaluating myself on some of the things that I have to deal with. As a person trying to be better, I just think that there's many of us that have problems accepting the negativities that we possess.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's hard for you to do that.
Sure it is.
So, you know, what you do is very much needed. And if a lot of us out there would get into the position to call on individuals like her, you'll find that you'll be able to move forward. So, again, I am going to have you to come to my home because,
I would love to.
yeah. And it's not because I'm having problems, it's just because I'm growing.
Right.
Yes, and
Right.
you don't have to call me because you're having problems.
Right,
either.
right,
You call
right.
me because you want to really understand yourself. You want to understand your mate or your children or your coworkers,
Yes.
Right. That's
Yes.
or your ministry workers. Because we all are, we dealing with personalities every day. I coupon. And when I go into the stores, I deal with personalities every day.
Yes.
But I assess the personalities,
right.
and I know how to handle myself
Right.
Right.
with those
That's
personalities.
right. Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's not, you know, it's not because of a negative. It's because you want to grow, you want to evolve. You want, for me as a Christian, I want to be more like Christ. So as I grow to be more like Him, I evolve and change and want to know more about how I can change, and how I can be better.
Let me ask you this: how do you deal with a person who is trying to overpower you? How I mean, do you rebel back? But how do you deal with that type
Well,
of individual?
okay, so it depends on why that person's doing it. If it's personality related, a person who is overpowering usually is a choleric.
Right.
So a choleric person has to have control. It's their basic desire is to have control. The sanguine is fun. The choleric is control. The melancholy is order. They need things in order. And the phlegmatic is peace. Okay? That's their basic desire. So if a person is trying to overpower you, it's because they need control over a situation. And if a choleric does not have control, they become controlling.
Right.
Okay? So if you are the choleric, you need to dial it back and say, okay, wait a minute. Let me look at the body language of the person I'm
Sure,
talking to. Because
sure.
normally if you're overpowering a person, they're
Yeah.
doing this.
Yep.
Right.
They're
okay.
leaning back on you.
That's right.
Okay.
And letting you know you're doing the most.
Yeah.
Right.
As my
Right.
daughter would say.
Right. So do you find yourself, so part of what I do, typically in 30 seconds I'm in your presence, I have already assessed your personality. Do you do that?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. And some people are hard to assess. I tell you, phlegmatics are harder to assess because they have a blank look on their face. So
Right.
you look, they're the kind of people when you go on an interview and you can't read them.
Right.
That's why you can't read them because they have a blank look on their face. So phlegmatics are harder to assess. But typically, I know your primary
Right.
in the first 10, 15 minutes of
Right.
sitting with you.
That's right.
If all I do is watch, and I watch people, I've always done that.
Right, me too.
And that's why I know this was what I was supposed to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I've always watched people. So, yeah.
I'm a people person, and I come. I'm like this, but I definitely like helping people. One of the things, I could be riding down the street and I'll see somebody with a flat tire, and I don't have no problem with pulling over to help them. I just believe that, you know, I am my brother's keeper,
Absolutely.
and you know, and that's something that I believe in strongly. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited. And you know what they say, how time flies when you're having fun?
Yes.
You know, that's what's happening right here. You know, Miss Kern is an amazing lady.
Thank you.
I was not joking when I said this is part 1 of part 5. You know, we're going to have a long conversation because you're going to have to come back. Because I'm sure that as far as Alice, I know that just quite a few other questions that you had as well, and a lot more that I have. And here's the opportunity. We got a couple minutes before we close. So if there's any callers out there, want to call in real quick and get a couple of questions in. What's that number again?
240-719-2560. Please call in. We do have a few more minutes. I do have one burning question.
Okay.
So, you know, understanding these personality types, a lot of people feel, and my assessment has been in talking with people when they learn that I do study personalities, it's like, oh, you're trying to put me on the couch. You know, it's more.
And see, I never get that because I get more of, really? Tell me more about that. I get more of that.
Right,
It's so
sure.
interesting because I guess, I don't know if it's because when I talk about the personalities, when I do my training classes
Sure.
or my speaking engagements, I really try to tell stories.
Sure.
So I tell you about each of the personality styles and I tell you a story about each personality style because in my little nucleus of my family, my husband is a choleric.
Okay.
My son is a choleric.
Wow.
My daughter is a melancholy.
Okay.
And my youngest daughter is a phlegmatic. and I'm a sanguine. So we're all 4 of the personality styles in that little family. Then I have 9 brothers and sisters.
Oh my.
So we have them all
Right.
in there. So I can tell you, and then I have friends, you know, because sanguines, we have a lot of friends. And so I can tell you a lot of stories about all the different personalities. So people see themselves sometimes in the stories that I tell. And because of that, they're more interested in knowing more about the personalities because they just find it intriguing. I even have people come up and say, can you teach me that? Can you, can you teach me how to do that? But I usually don't have people who are put off by it. And it's funny because I thought when I first started doing it, I was mentoring teen and young adult females, all girls. And so I remember doing a session with the parents. And so the mom and dad would come in and we did personalities so they understood their personalities and the personality of their children, and one of the fathers was like, well, why don't you do this for boys? And I said, well, right now my heart is for girls. This is what the Lord has given me. And so that's what I'm doing is girls. And he said, well, you could teach guys. You taught me. And so then it started becoming more and more I was seeing where God was leading me to talk to men.
Wow.
And so then it's couples. And so now I understood that he was preparing me to be in a position where I can help couples see each other and understand each other. And even men are like, wow, that is me. Oh, and then the wife and the husband looking at each other like,
yep, that's him.
That's you.
That's what I'm looking at right now, and I'm just excited again. Miss Karen Ward is an amazing lady. We're going to definitely try to make sure we get you to come back in because I have a ton of questions, and I'm going to go home and do some homework because I've been listening to some things because I'm trying to be a much better person. Remember, everybody, this is not about us here. It's about you, me, and them. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. And we really, really want you to take this opportunity when you see these individuals we bring in, patronize them. I did use the right word, right?
Yes. It's a good word. Yes,
good word. That's real good word.
That's a good word.
So what we want to do is that we want you to be able to utilize these things to help you to be a better you.
Yes.
So y'all tune in next week.
Yes.
6:30.
Yes.
Vox Wave Live.
Yes.
And remember, it's not about me. It's about you, them, and us. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Karen.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Good night. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Yes.